Well, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today presenting a Scovillain EX deck. Partly, look, I like fire decks, and Magma Basin is going to rotate, so I want to take advantage of these decks that want Magma Basin, because Scovillain EX is a new Pokemon, but when rotation comes, I don't think this deck is taking a huge hit. It's not a top tier deck anyway. I'm not pretending it is, but it's an okay deck right now, and I'm not sure how if it's going to be playable at all post rotation. So it has Spicy Rage Attack, which for 2 fire energy does 10 plus 70 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So a multiplier of 70, and that's very nice, right? So you're wanting to get 4 damage counters on it. You're doing 290 or 5, then you're doing 360. So 4 or 5 is what you're needing to get to one-shot the multi-prize Pokemon out there. It's not easy to do, but it is definitely doable, and it is a lot of fun when it works. It also has the ability to double type as long as this Pokemon's in play, so it's both fire and type and grass type. So hitting for additional weakness, that's good too, because obviously Charizard EX, now we're hitting Charizard for weakness is really good. And some other Pokemon too, right? So it's nice having that dual typing is a plus. Okay, so playing a 3-4 line there for the basic, the Capsakid, which has an attack where you can increasing spice. You search your deck for fire energy attached to this Pokemon is useful, but it only works if you don't actually get knocked out, right? And plus you have to get damage on it, so which kind of needs to get to the bench. But how am I playing this deck? Also, so anyway, we need to get playing Magma Basin. I already mentioned that, so we'll get to that card in a minute if you're not familiar with it is. But we need energy in the discard pulse or Radiant Greninja. Discard the energy, draw 2 cards. Works there. We also need to discard, and we need to set up. This deck doesn't have an engine because I need a couple Scovillains. I need Squawkabilly EX, and then I'm also Squawkabilly EX, like Squawk and Seize. You discard your hand. And draw 6 cards. Only do it on your first turn of the game. So we want to go first if we can, because we're not. Well, actually, we can attack a turn 1. I'll take that back if we go second. But generally, we want to go first and just have a setup turn where Squawkabilly is great. So 2 copies of that just to help make sure it's not prized and get it in play. And then 2 copies of Entei V. If we do go second, then Entei V can attack for meaningful damage. Because with Magma Basin we can accelerate energy to it, so it does for 2 energies. It does 20 plus 20 more for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So very nice there. And then it's got the fleet-footed ability. If it's in the active spot, you draw a card. And since this deck has not really any engine, we will take advantage of that as well. So those are the Pokemon there. Pretty simple. I've seen the deck played with Dodrio. I get it. It gets damage in play. It does give you some draw. I just think because of bench space and deck space, not using Dodrio. If you follow my channel, you know I like Dodrio. I just don't think I can afford the space in this deck. Playing 12 basic fire energy, all we need is the fire, so that's fine. 12 is, we don't need 12 to attack with, but we need to be drawing energies to use Radiant Greninja and such. So if we need to get energies in our hand, so we get them in the discard pile. So getting energies is really important. So I like playing a couple extra energies. You could play 10, would give you enough to attack with over the course of the game for sure. But you need to get them into your hand so you can use Radiant Greninja and set up. So to me, the deck space of a couple extra energies is worthwhile. Okay, trainers in this, I already mentioned Magma Basin, 4 copies of that. You can attach a fire energy from your discard pile to one of your bench fire Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on it, which obviously pairs with Scovillain EX, because we get an energy on it. It needs 2 energy, and it needs damage counters, so that's really good there. Now, the downside is the basic Pokemon is a grass type, so we can't, unfortunately, Magma Basin to the Capsakid, so that hurts this deck a lot. If there's a fire Capsakid, way better for this deck, so that's an issue as well, I will say. Oh, I didn't mention the Gengar, right? I mentioned the Radiant Greninja, I believe. If you don't know what it does, I'm sure you do. If not, read Concealed Cards ability, very good. Playing the Stage 2 Gengar, which I don't play the pre-evolutions, but it's got the Netherwheel Gate ability, is what it's here for. Once during a turn, its Pokemon's in your discard pile. You may put it onto your bench. If you do, put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon, so just very nice there. We can slap it into play, get damage on the board, which we need to do. So very good there. And it's another good card. We want to discard energies. We also want to get one or both Gengars in the discard pile early in the game. So that's all very good. All right, jumping back to the trainers there. Helping to discard 4 Ultra Ball, we need Pokemon. We need discard, great there. 2 Earthen Vessels, we need energies. We need to discard. Earthen Vessel is good as well. You know, I would love to play Pokestop in this deck without as an engineless deck, but I need Magma Basin in play, so Pokestop can't happen. Let's see, getting Pokemon in play also for Nest Balls and 2 Buddy-Buddy Poffins. Buddy-Buddy Poffin's really good. But I can't afford. I don't think I can afford more than 2. But playing 4 Arven, so that's the 1/4 of supporter here. Search for a tool and an item, and so that's how we get the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Also playing 1 copy of Forest Seal Stone. That's our 1 tool in the deck, and we play Entei V. Don't have a V-Star power, so Star Alchemy just really good. So wouldn't mind a second copy. I just don't know. Again, deck space. I don't know. I can afford it. All right, just working through an order some. Two switches because we need to. Magma Basin only accelerates to the bench, so we need some switching cards. So that's there. 2 Night Stretchers. Put a basic Pokemon or basic energy. Discard. I mean, a Pokemon, not necessarily a basic Pokemon. Any Pokemon or basic energy from the discard pile into your hand. Really good. Playing 1 copy of Super Rod. I think maybe just 3 Night Stretchers. And, you know, drop the Super Rod, maybe the way to go. I'm not sure. Playing Prime Catcher for the A spec. I've thought about Secret Box, which helps discard, and it does allow us to get our stadium and such, so that could be better. It would help us set up more, but we still need switching. Plus, in this deck, I'm only playing 1 Boss's Order, so having an extra Gust card is good too. So I've been back and forth, but Prime Catcher is what I'm playing for now. Playing 4 Damage Pump, you could cut it to 3. I wouldn't go below 3 because you're probably going to have to use 2 over the course of the game when you're going to win. 1's prized, or you got to draw into it. So really good card. This is rotating. One of the things we're losing. We're losing the Gengar, by the way. We lose Radiant Greninja. We lose Damage Pump. We lose Magma Basin. And those cards just it guts a deck like this. But Damage Pump, what it does, if you're not familiar, move 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your other Pokemon any way you would like. So generally, we need to get the damage onto the Scovillain EX. Also, if we have damage counters, like we've been Magma Basing to an Entei V, we don't want the damage on the Entei V. So we can then move it from the Entei V to the Scovillain. So, or even to the Capsakid. Yeah, sorry. So you can also even use it just to get damage on the Capsakid from an Entei V. So useful in the deck. Since we don't have an engine for a card I need, I'm playing 4 copies because it's very important. Could go to 3 though. 1 copy of Boss's Order is really good. I've had 2 at times, but just making space for other cards, I'm down to 1, which is partly why I have the Prime Catcher. If I went to the Secret Box, I think I'd have to put in a second boss. Then I have to cut something for the deck, and you know, it's all a matter of compromise. The 4 Arvens, the 4 Magma Basins, because we got to draw into Magma Basin. It's super important. If we don't get Magma Basin in play, we're going to lose the game. That's generally how it goes. So very important, both for the energy acceleration and the damage. And then playing 2 copies of Carmine. I've kind of switched around with this. I've had Professor's Research most of the time with this, but I want to have the option of just going turbo on my first turn if I go first. So therefore, put Carmine in, and you know, we'll see. You discard your hand, you draw 5 instead of 7, so it's not as good. We're drawing less cards, but BL setup turn 1 is good. I could even see maybe a third Carmine and dropping the Arven to 3, or even 4 Carmine and could drop, besides the Arven, a damage pump as well. Those are some of the ideas, but this is where the deck's at right now. So, and it's working pretty well. When it works, it definitely can win games. It's not, you know, you can lose either by not setting up, or without, since it doesn't really have an engine, you can kind of get going and then just grind to a halt in the game too. I've seen that. I've experienced both those things. But I think it's a fun deck to play around with, so I definitely like it. And let's go take a look at the deck in action. And then after that, I will kind of give just comments on how the deck may want to change adjustments to it going forward. All right, see what happens here. Last game, got the W. My opponent bricked really horribly, so I don't think I'm going to upload it just because, I mean, I got the win, and I had to, you know, work through the deck some, but the deck didn't like shine from my end, and my opponent just did nothing. My opponent's at 531. They're ranking on the ladder. If my opponent's at 540 or whatever, you know, between 540 and 549. I'm letting him win. Just let him move on to Arceus League is my mindset now. All right, Capsakid in the starter. Okay. My first or second, by the way. My opponent benched 2 Pokemon. So they should, look, I just say this, and I make mistakes too. So if you watch my channel, you know that, but okay, so I'm trying, just in terms of sequencing. You're going first. You put your starter in. You never put anything else on the bench because you just want to get more information because there's nothing I can do to disrupt them because they have the first turn, right? So, okay. So all right, so a bunch of... So, right, so you just hold off on benching those Pokemon. That's the first thing I would say, is you don't make that play to bench them till you see what I have. It is Raging Bolt, so they... Okay. Usually, maybe. I mean, I thought Raging Bolt wanted to go second so they can do the big damage. I'm not going to knock them out though. So which is fine. I guess I'm gonna Nest Ball for... I Nest Ball for Entei V, I guess. No, for Squawkabilly because I want to set up, I guess. Yeah, I need to set up. All right, well, I don't need to Nest Ball for Squawkabilly because I have him. So I'm going to Nest Ball for... it's a little weird here. They're going to knock something out, right? That's pretty much a given. I don't know if I want to Entei V here. I don't think I do because Entei V's not going to one-shot them, and I don't want to give another 2 prizes that can't one-shot them. So I'm going to slap down a Radiant Greninja. I'm going to play my Magma Basin, and I'm going to Squawk and Seize. I could have Radiant Greninja at first. That was kind of the decision I was trying to decide. That was where do I want to... It's awkward here, right? If I slap down Entei V, I could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so maybe so Entei V, I just make sure I have the Prime Catcher, right? Prime Catcher, Entei V, take the knockout. Seems like the play to make, right? Take some prizes here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's really good, right? They're going to one-shot me, but I can take 2 prizes. 9. So I'll take out the Squawkabilly. Just do that. That's the most I can get here, really, I think. So Arven, grab the Prime Catcher. Oh, my Force Stone's prized, which is okay, too. Just grab a cheap prize is my thought here. So grab the Squawkabilly EX. Because my Entei V, I'm just trading even, right? But so this is a setup turn for me. That's my thought. I will fleet-footed here. I'm thinking rather than being a 6 prize card game in a sense, I'm kind of shortening it to a 4 prize card game. That's what I'm doing here. So I take the knockout. I'm at 200. If I could have gotten to 210, but they didn't fill their bench. So yeah, I'm not gonna. I was thinking, should I use the Radiant Greninja's ability? But I think just holding off on that. So I take 2 prizes. They're gonna take 2 prizes. I mean, look, best case scenario is they miss and can't take 2 prizes right now. It's not going to be easy for me to get this one shot. In fact, it's going to be very, very difficult. Let's be honest. It's going to be very tough. So it's possible, though, but it's going to be very difficult. So how am I going to work this? I guess I send up a Capsakid on here. I assume they get their attack off, right? If they miss their attack, I'm obviously in great shape, but see what happens. Oh wait, I could have taken out the Ogerpon. I was a moron. Once again, I should have taken out the Ogerpon because they're weak to my fire Pokemon. And right, occasionally some weird weakness. So that was really dumb on my part. Really, really dumb. So they attached by hand, right? So they haven't. They have to have an energy switch, right? to make the attack, which they probably will have. They play 4 of them, I assume, so I could have taken out that Ogerpon. I should have. I was just really dumb there. So they just need an energy switch, and then they have the knockout, but they're still okay. They failed on bug catching for that set. So yeah, I mean, it's because, yeah, I mean, just not thinking this game through. Oh no, they don't need a third energy, just need 2. That's right. Roaring Moon's very, very good here. So they're gonna blow me up very easily. I'll send up a Capsakid. Unless I get boss, I'm going to have a tough time getting the knockout, is what I'll say. So I should have taken out, if I had taken out the Ogerpon, which I should have, I would have been in a better position, for sure. So that was really, really terrible on my part, right? So I need, I mean, I'm probably not getting this knockout, am I? Probably not. So let me, no, let me, I gotta get a Gengar. I don't have Gengar yet in the discard pile, right? So let me use my ability first. I was thinking, should I grab something? But, okay, got a Gengar, which I can discard, but I don't have the right things there. So, I'm gonna, I'll get the Gengar discarded, and I will just get down another Scovillain. I'll evolve the guy on the bench here. I don't really want to attack this turn, do I? I don't think I do. Maybe I attach to the Scovillain. My best hope is that they don't have a gusting card, right? 1, 2. It's going to be so tough to pull this off, though, isn't it? Incredibly tough. So I'm just going to end turn here. Just going to end turn. I was just thinking, right? Because if I attach energy to the Scovillain with the energy and damage, he can attack, but he needs 3 more damage counters on him. Which means, and I can only move 2 at a time. Gengar, when he goes into play, puts 3 on him, but I would also then need 2 of the damage pumps, right? So the good news is I have the Gengar in the discard pile, so if I draw into 2 damage pumps, I can actually make that happen. All right, they haven't played an A spec, right? So if they could Prime Catcher me, so that could happen. I mean, hopefully they just take out the Capsakid. That's what I'm really hoping for, is they just take out the Capsakid. But we will see, right? We'll see about this. They knock out my active. I send up Squawkabilly, I think, right? Because his retreat cost is 1. Yeah. Okay, so I have to get rid of 1 energy. That's the good thing for that. So I'll send up Squawkabilly, yeah. And because I need damage. Actually, I have to attach, but I have energy. I can Magma Basin. I still need. I have Carmine. Carmine is good, right? So, so I'll put this here. So I need 1 more damage counter there, and I now can. I'll put an energy here, I guess, right? Or, you know what? I'm going to discard this hand, right? So I will. I'll Greninja first. I can recover the energy with the Night Stretcher and attach the active still. Okay, I mean, I don't really think I want that Capsakid for any reason, right? So I'll just do this. I will just trash everything. I got Damage Pump. I got a Switch. Oh, well, that's okay. Well, I don't. So let me get this guy here into play. So I have the knockout. That's the good news. I think, so I need 5, right? 5. Wait, oh, I only need 1 more, right? So 4, actually I don't need any, right? That's right, 250, right? So, all right, so I will retreat here into him. This is what's good here. So now he's doing 2, that's right. He does 2 night, but the damage pump is good because I can get my Scovillain set up for next turn. Right, so this Scovillain, and I have a switch, so this is all pretty solid. Okay, so I will just attack, That's right. That extra 10, I know that's there, and I forgot that. I was forgetting about that extra 10. So that 290, not a problem. So, okay. The fact is that they couldn't gust me up that turn. Ooh, I did get Forest Seal Stone. I have another Entei V, right? So I only have one. So I should have one in the deck. So I could Forest Seal Stone next turn as well. So I need the switch card. Obviously, if I get Iono, that's where things get very tough for me. So I think I'm pulling off the win. I forgot that I did 290 to 280. So, but I could have handled the two. I could have handled the two. I could have gotten that extra damage counter on it, but I only needed the 4. So this is very good. Decks where you only need to get the 4 damage counters on instead of that 5th, it helps a lot, right? While it can get to the 350 range to one shot. Well, I was going to say Charizard, but yes, but that has weakness, so that doesn't matter. But like, say, Dragapult EX, it's a lot tougher to do, is what I'll say. So they can only take 2 prizes. They can only take 1 knockout, right? They can knock out 1 Pokemon. They can't win. So did they play this? I don't think they supported it yet, right? So Iono makes it so I might not win, right? Iono makes it so there's a good chance I don't win, actually. If they knock me out, I'll send up the Squawkabilly, I guess. I have to send up either Radiant Greninja or Squawkabilly, whichever way it is. I'll have to send up one of them anyway at this point. I have Switch, so Gengar. The retreat cost doesn't matter with the Gengar, but might as well send up some with a retreat cost of 1 anyway. And I can manually attach. At this point, I Magma Base, and I manually attach, and I switch, and I win the game. And that's looking like what's going to happen. So don't send up the Scovillain into the active, because that would end the game for me. Because, I mean, I guess I could switch and then attach and manually retreat. No, I have to manually attach the Scovillain as well. So did they get... I'm not sure if they did an extra energy or not, but it won't matter here. So, yeah, so the turn where they couldn't gust up the guy on the bench really was big for me. So, and now I get extra damage. I have 4 here, so it's not a problem. I have Forest Seal Stone. I have a lot of outs here, even if, I don't need, I have Switch, so that's game right there. And so 290, so perfect numbers there. And, get the W. So that's awesome. So deck worked well. I forgot the math for a few minutes there in the game, but yeah, does its thing. Obviously, it's able to take out the big basic Raging Bolt. So very happy about that game. All right, see what happens here. Just got bodied by a Luxray control deck. The deck I have here isn't well suited for it. I didn't know it was Luxray control. I went first, and I didn't know it was Luxray control during my first turn, so I could have played it a little differently, but not. I was just going to lose the game anyway. Once I got the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, it was game over for me, right? All my attackers have abilities, except, Capsakid doesn't have an ability, but I don't have Grass Energy, so I can only attack. I can do Increasing Spice and get a lot of Fire Energy on him, but can't actually damage, and I don't have enough gusting to have tried to have worked around the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, because potentially I could have taken enough prizes around that guy, but I have Prime Catcher and 2, I think there's 1 boss actually, so I wasn't going to be able to handle that stuff. So, okay, Ogerpon, so Raging Bolts. Okay, I'm setting up here. All right, how do I work this? Obviously, well, I need Squawk and Seize is what I need to do here. I'll slap down the Entei V. I could attach. No, I'm not going to attach. I mean, maybe I should have just ditched the Entei V. That might have been a mistake, right? Entei V may have been a mistake. All right, so it's not terrible here. Do I want to get both these guys down? I think I do. Yeah, and I'll Magma Basin. We have 2 energies in the discard pile. Yeah. Do I do that? Yeah, I'm gonna get an energy on the Entei V, and I guess I could I'm gonna Earthen Vessel. I want to thin my deck, right? So get rid of the energy because I can recover the energy. Because I don't want to top deck energy. That's not what I need. So I'll attach to Entei V. Hopefully they don't knock him out. They're right. They can boss him up, but they're gonna need a supporter to get their energy in play, probably, right? So I think they probably won't gust up. I mean, they could Prime Catcher. I don't think they can boss though. Rotom V, that's nice for them. They probably have Forest Seal Stone, and so that. Oh, they instant charge, so that's really good. Okay, well that's not. This is not a good spot for me. All right, I'll switch into the Entei V. The problem is, I'll draw my card. Right, I'm not doing much damage, so but it does help me take him out next turn. Right, I'm two-shotting. Two-shotting is not the way to win the game, but okay, that Carmen's good actually. All right, what is in there? I'll rod back the Scovillain. I want the energy in the discard pile, I think. So, and I'll discard the energy that's in hand. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Oh, Gengar. Okay. I'll get rid of the Gengar, of course, and I thin my hand out. I'll attach to a Capsakid here. It's not ideal. I mean, I could slap down the Gengar. I do a little more damage. Would I want to do that? I don't think I do. I'm gonna put the Gengar in play. I do a little more damage, right? In case they can't attack this turn, it actually is good for me. They probably can attack though, right? I mean, they didn't have a supporter last turn though, right? They went second. They had no supporter, so I could have just waited on the Gengar. Because I might not want the Gengar on play. That's the thing. I can't now slap down a Radiant Greninja, so the Gengar probably was a mistake. I just knocked over a beverage too, so I will now do a little cleanup of my desktop while the game continues. Fortunately, it didn't make too big of a mess. I get some stuff on the keyboard, so but I will. Okay, well this is good here. Okay, well I have the knockout, so I'm just gonna knock him out, right? I just smack him down. Arven. Yeah, Arven, because I got Forest Seal Stone. Forest Seal Stone does seem good, right? And an item. Damage Pump seems really good too. All right, so I want to get. I'll gonna save the Ultra Ball. That's what I'm gonna do. Look, I've won the game. My opponent has completely bricked, right? So I think I've won this game here. So I'm gonna Magma Basin. So 10, 20. I'm going to just slap an energy on there. I'll take the knockout. My thinking behind it is might be a mistake. You know, I could have damage pump, but I might want to damage pump to the other Capsakid. Look, my opponent probably concedes at this point because they've obviously got nothing. They have a huge hand, and it's not right. I mean, they've attached an energy, they played, and they're gonna slap him back on the bench. I mean, you know, maybe they drew a card, maybe they can attack, right? Potentially they can still take a prize. They need their supporter, and they can attack this turn. But they're not in a good place. All right, so that's okay. Let's see what they gust up. Oh, Gengar's annoying though. Gengar is annoying. Yeah. Well, that's a good play actually. That's a very good play on their part. I guess I'm gonna Carmen. I guess I'm not gonna Carmen. Okay. Well, that's okay. So this is a Raging Bolt's usually a turbo deck, but this is not playing very turbo-y, right? I don't know. Maybe that's where the deck is now. Maybe Unfair Stamp's in the deck more commonly. I don't know. I'm looking at my keyboard and seeing there's a little more liquid on it than I thought initially, and I really need to get to cleaning it up. So, okay. So they're gonna use. So anyway, but I'd like to finish this game up, right? So we'll see what happens. So instant charge, so like keeping the tool. I don't have tool removal. I do play a couple switches in deck, but I guess I attach the active, right? And I end turn. I guess I'm gonna Magma Basin now because I need more damage on that guy, right? So I kind of burned an energy by the one I attached manually, I guess. But that is what it is, right? This is also where, you know, the Capsakid being grass type, it shows the big problem with that in the deck too. If Capsakid was fire type, it would be much better. So now they could attack this turn, right? They can obviously take out my active. They could can they take out? They need to get rid of 4 energies, right? To one-shot the Capsakid. That's kind of my thought there. So, okay, so now they can take me out, right? Probably. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, they need another energy. If they have an energy to attach, then they can take. They need, but they can't. They don't have boss, and they played unfair stamp, so they don't have Prime Catcher. So, what are they going to do? They're going to retreat. What are they going to send up? Okay. I mean, they could play Counter Catcher. I take that. They could have Counter Catcher, right? They did that last turn, right? If they Counter Catcher, then yeah. And they could have Pokemon Catcher too, right? That's common in these decks as well. So, that's okay. I mean, that problem is there. They've now given up the Raging Bolt, right? So I can attach. They don't know I have the energy in hand. So I attach, I retreat, and I send him up, and they take two more prizes, and yeah. So this is very good, very good indeed. So now, I mean, so you know they might be able to one-shot my active Pokemon, and I might have, and it puts me in a tough spot. Oh, that's damage pump is very big there. I do need to draw into. I need to draw into a switching card, right? Well, no. What I do here, I guess the Ogerpon can always retreat, right? So that's why they sent him up. They could have sent down the Bramblin, right? Not surprised to see him there. Because they don't want to be chucking away these energies. They need these energies, right, in play to they need to one-shot my active this turn to have a chance, right? If they can't one-shot my active, they're gonna lose, right? I mean, they can retreat to the Bramblin, and I might not. So they got the knockout, so good job there. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just take the knockout with Entei V now, right? So that's the problem there. They got the prize, but I'm pretty sure I just take the knockout, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do 320 because they're weak. So, so they made a play to take a couple prizes, but nothing to impact the game. So, is what it is. They're doing that, take a knockout, concede, but got the win. So that's very nice. So pleased with how these games went. And I'll give a quick final thoughts as I conclude the video. All right, so Scovillain EX, look, the double type is nice. It definitely helps in some matchups, right? Like Charizard EX is weak to grass, so that's nice for sure. If they ever printed a Capsakid that was fire type, that would be super awesome. I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. Let me just double check here. No. So, okay, so it does not exist, as I thought. So that would be really good for it. The thing is, rotation's coming, so we're going to lose Gengar, we're going to lose Radiant Greninja, I would lose Entei V, but the deck doesn't need Entei V, right? But then we're going to lose Magma Basin, huge loss. We also lose Damage Pump that goes with the Gengar. So I don't see that this deck really has a future post-rotation, but maybe it does. If you have ideas for it post-rotation, do let me know. What could you do now? Obviously, you can play it with Dodrio. It gives you a bit of an engine, right? Dodrio is one of my personal favorites. It's got the zooming draw ability. If you're not familiar with it, you put a damage counter on it, you draw a card. So it gets you some additional damage. You could do that, and then you drop the Gengars, but it's a stage 1, so you need at least a 2/2 line. So you are running into deck space issues, and it only draws 1 card. So as an engine, it's still not great. Like, you get 2 Dodrios in play, let's say, because that's pretty good if you get 2 in play, honestly. Just in terms of getting it set up, right? You'd like more than that if you have more, but getting 2 is pretty good the way the deck usually flows. And you're getting 2 extra cards, which is good, but it's still not great. So Radiant Greninja is definitely super great for this deck too. Radiant Greninja, Magma Basin, Damage Pump, super great cards. Yeah, what could you do to change it up? Do you need the Super Rod? Do I need it? I mean, I've used it for sure, but if I just replace it, I don't think I could just cut it. I think I could swap in maybe a 3rd Night Stretcher. That could work, right? I think that could work. Maybe that would make the deck a little more powerful, because the Night Stretcher helps that turn. You make the big knockout, so maybe it would make the deck a little more threatening. I'm not sure there. For the second Forest Seal Stone at times would be nice, because when one's prized, it's very, very rough. But deck space is an issue here. The last change I think I made to the deck was putting these 2 Carmine in instead of 2 to research. I like the Carmine because I've got enough use out of them on turn 1 going first that I think that is better than getting 2 cards less later in the game, right? You draw 5 instead of 7, but getting that supporter turn 1 going first, really good. And I think, discarding your hand in a deck like this works pretty well, which is also why you want to have extra copies, like 4 damage pumps for cards that you're going to need a couple of over the course of the game, because you're going to Carmine them away, Squawkabilly EX them away. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the build, I got to say. If you have suggestions, let me know. I'd like to make it a little better for sure, because I do like Scovillain EX, and if there's ways to kind of tweak it, just make it a little more consistent. Pheasantipity EX, right? That could go in the deck. That would be good, actually. Maybe you need to cut a card. Maybe just go to 1 Squawkabilly EX and put in Pheasantipity. That could be better, right? Because that I like the Pheasantipity thought. So I'm not going to put it in the deck, but you know what Pheasantipity does, right? So Pheasantipity EX, you discard a card from your hand, and if your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, your opponent's last turn, you draw 3 cards. So that's good, really good. So you get Pheasantipity, you get Radiant Greninja. You draw a card for turn, 2 more cards off Radiant Greninja, 3 more cards off Pheasantipity. Now you're seeing 7 cards, and that's kind of as you get the middle game, the deck does struggle. So I think Pheasantipity is the key. Then it's a question of, what do you cut? Do you cut a Squawkabilly EX? Do you cut a Damage Pump? What do you do? Even maybe a Magma Basin. Although, no, don't do that. See, the reason I thought it, I'll just say this, is because there's a lot. You're not getting your stadium bumped a ton these days. There's not your stadium's sticking around a lot of the time, so you don't need 4 copies to keep it in play. But if you drop to 3, but you need to get it in play, so you want the 4 copies, so it just increases the odds of getting in play early, because you really need it in play by turn 2, right? Turn 2, you want to get your Scovillain EXs in play. That's your fire guy you want the damage on, and then you need to Magma Basin. So don't cut the Magma Basin. So don't think that. I thought it for a minute, and just tell yourself, no, don't do that. So you can cut maybe Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I guess only 1 boss. I think you got to keep that. Probably cut a Squawkabilly EX, or maybe an Entei V. Those would be I would guess that those are the 2 best guys to cut for the Pheasantipity, right? The Entei V, because you really want the Scovillain for the deck. The Entei V is kind of is very much a secondary, or the second copy of Squawkabilly EX. Cut one of those, put in a Pheasantipity. I think the deck could be a little bit better, but it is a fun deck to play for sure, and it definitely can win games. So give this deck a try, and take care, have fun, and play some Pokemon.